If you don't have a welder, I wouldn't suggest doing this project. Welcome for another episode of Making Chico's Garage. Today I'm going to teach you how to reduce your pressure on your wastegate or increase it. So what you're going to need is a spring. At this point, or this case, I have a 5 pound or 5 psi spring right here. The reason why I'm going 5 psi is because I have an MR2 Spider with a compression ratio of 11:1, which is pretty high. You know, the high-end RPM torque is great, but the low-end kind of sucks. So in this case, I have a TD04 turbo right here. You want to take off the wastegate. If you don't know how to take off a wastegate, then you should not look at this video. There's 2 bolts and it's self-explanatory. So once you have it out, you're going to put 2 marks on the side of it. You're going to need a cutting wheel, something to simulate boost, and 2 clamps. So you put the 10 clamps back in here. You put one over here and one in the opposing direction. You're going to scribe a mark where you're going to cut, and also leave 2 marks to align it back in its place how it came from. So once you cut it out, you're going to see this pop out partially. So you want to regulate the clamps a little bit back and forward so you don't really cut awkwardly. So once you have it cut, thanks to the magic of editing, I forgot to put in the video clip, there's going to be 2 little tangs coming from that little actuator rod. You want to grind those down, and then this will come free. Get ready, this might pop. So once it does pop, your wastegate's going to have a little ring in here. You're going to want to cut that off as well. And that's what detains the spring in place. So what I did, I cut the spring in half, like the Mexicans do on their Hondas. As you can see, you cut the spring off. You're going to see this taper cone here. You're going to chuck that along with the spring. And I'm going to post a link on the description where you can get the spring at. They're dirt cheap. They're like 20 bucks. So you can go high PSI, low PSI. I mean, you know, there's different ratings for the PSI, and they seem to be really accurate. I've done this. This is the second time I've done this. So you put your spring in its place. You put this, you want to keep this. This came off the TD04L wastegate, so you want to put this upside down. This is has the perfect diameter lip to hold this spring in place. And there's going to be a little washer in here. I want to put that in place. That came with the TD04 as well. And that's pretty much it from there. You want to put this back. So you can see there's a gap in there. You want to squeeze that and align it. Put your clamps back on and grab your welder. Alright, so once you have it all set up, you want to get something to simulate boost. So at this point I have my Mighty Vac. You put it at one end, you're going to have a T-fitting. That's if you have one ready for your boost gauge. So you put it on your nipple where your boost gauge is at. Then this is just to verify that the amount of boost going through is the same. So you're going to see roughly 5 pounds, and the actuator rod's going to start moving. So it started to move already. So once you go to 5 pounds, it opened entirely. And that's how you check your spring rate. You can see that moving back and forward. See that right here? That's where your actuator started to move. And not so much from there. I guess I gotta put it on the turbo to show you. But once you have it all in place, you want to start welding this back. So now we're gonna do some welding. So it ain't pretty, but what's important is the functionality. This is the first time actually using this TIG welder, and yeah, I'm a little rusty. It's been like 2 years since I used a TIG welder. I used to do aluminum, so it's kind of bad losing that practice, but I'm gonna get better and better. Product should look like. It's done. Throw it on your turbo and call it a day. Clip replacement. And this is the result of it if it's done properly.